startup system around us as an ecosystem where, we as a company cannot do everything on our own, right? So we are trying to see how we can build this ecosystem of companies where we can, give them what we are looking to do. Maybe we don't have capacity, and maybe we do not want to build everything ourselves, but we are trying to create this ecosystem. That's number one. Second, we are trying to work with various colleges, universities across where our centers are. So that way, we are enabling young generation coming out of college, giving them, like one is looking for startups to build something. Second, working with these colleges, students to give them ideas what we are looking for. And if a product that can be used by us comes out of this as a result, either those students can become part of our GCC as our employees, or we can enable them to come up with a new product company which can be a vendor and a partner for us. And then third, ecosystem, as part of this, ecosystem that we have to do is we have to make sure, our leadership is mature enough to understand that, everything cannot be done by ourselves, right? So it is very difficult for leaders to, realize this fact that it is okay to let go. It is not okay to keep everything that, okay, you know what, people take pride in doing themselves, but there's value in letting others do if it can be done quickly, it can be done in a better way, and it can be done in a better way where, there are a lot of synergies, mutual benefits, and it can work for both parties. So those are three kind of things that we are trying to focus on to see how we can get to the next stage.
Over to you, Nandan.
No, so I think now we've gone from the past to the present, right? And I think we are living in very interesting times, frankly. And I'll tell you what's happening. As the products are going from being more mechanical to, let's say, more connected, more intelligent products, so there is a lot of intersection between mechanical, electrical, and software. Also, what's happened is some of our engineering centers have developed worldwide over many, many decades. So they have had maybe 70, 80, 90 years of infrastructure, labs, etc. And they are all specialized in those areas. But for, let's say, large capital goods, you're talking about big chillers, big refrigeration systems, container systems, etc. It's very unlikely that you have everything being designed in one place. So you actually have a lot of different disciplines across the globe. In Hyderabad, for example, we're dealing pretty closely with about 23 different global design centers. So the shift that has happened today is, rather than us talking about headcount and people leadership, I think there's a lot of discussion about the discipline leadership, the discipline health. What is it that we are really driving? So as of today, we've got 4 discipline leaders in Hyderabad, where you got people from North America and from Europe reporting into Hyderabad. And I think that's a big shift in terms of what's happened. So I think there's a lot of presence. So when you are talking about creation, please understand that in these kind of industries, you need to know the domain quite well. The products don't work the way you design them in the lab. So you actually have to spend time with customers. You have to spend time with service people. You need to go to the field. You need to be there in factory. And engineering cannot work in isolation. So you have to be, very closely coupled with manufacturing, supply chain, product management. And this is I think, a virtuous cycle. The more you invest, the more you get back, and then the more you invest back into this again. So I think we are definitely in the middle of that transition. It's one of the lessons that we learned is you cannot really be an effective engineering center with just only software in an industry like us. Right. It might be different for different people, but you have to know the product. Yes. You have to have a combination of the core engineering skills. I'm not saying that everybody has to become an expert, but you need to have the domain boot camp, to have understand, and then you will really be able to drive this forward. And I think we have a responsibility in really developing the talent that's kind of coming in today. And I think you kind of touched upon this on the larger ecosystem. Suppliers, I think, are going to be a huge opportunity. India still has a relatively lighter manufacturing base compared to China in terms of supply chain and the goods. So work with suppliers, work with universities, work with talent, and everybody starts somewhere. So let's not keep complaining, but I think it's really more about what do you do with what you have really matters. So we have to be very purposeful in every dollar that we spend in engineering. And I think that is the journey that we're in right now.
Excellent, excellent. Gaurav, coming to the last part about the future, what are your plans? How are you planning to transform your organization? What are your strategies? And especially with all of this AI coming in, are we looking at a situation of, say, a GCC apocalypse, like we talk about SaaS apocalypse? Uh, what is it going to result in terms of people, in terms of output, in terms of productivity, and so on?
So I think since morning a lot has been talked about, future of technology. I think everybody talks about LLM, ML ops, LLM ops. So I will probably keep it like at a very high level, right? So as Nanda touched it, right? So domain is going to be very important, right? So far, in the past, things have been, let's get this process and see if we can make it better. We talked about now having product ownership. We need to make sure, our GCCs are headquarters and not subsidiaries. So he also talked about, people from outside reporting into leaders here. So we want to look more of CEOs in India having reportees outside of India. So GCC head is the CEO of not just the GCC head, he or she is actually the CEO of the company. So I think that's a big culture shift. People have to start believing that this can be done, right? I mean, that's a big part of this whole stuff, apart from technology. I mean, today's AI, something else will come up. But as long as we start taking ownership and accepting the fact, yes, we can be worldwide CEO sitting in our GCCs and everybody else reporting, that is the future that we are looking at. Another thing that we are also, looking at is how can we do inter-GCC collaboration? So we talked about vendors, we talked about partners, we talked about universities, but we also have to see, are there any other, we may call them competitors, or are there any other similar industry GCCs which are around us, with whether it's the same city or not, but we need to make sure how we can have some mutual synergies by collaborating with them, talking to them, learning from them, and making sure, we give each other, the best of it. So I think those are the things that we're going to have our team focus on.
I think you both have touched almost all the points, but the future is definitely going to be very interesting, seeing the value with the help of the AI, which is going to bring. How this GCC can outflow the ideas from India instead of getting inflow is going to play a very bigger role. How our leaders started going into the stakeholders and write the roadmap instead of taking it, going to be the bigger thing. Complete ecosystem has to get everything together and have to run it out. AI will help our internal system, external system be the companion which can help us to run the show and make the things get done. GCC centers, from future perspective, they started seeing it out that whether the whole system, maybe a digitalization vertical or maybe a complete warehouse, complete data analytics, can it run from here? How can we leverage agent going there and help us to add more value, which you are getting from the system, and leverage other folks which we in the team and support in the other system. So it's definitely going to be interesting. The thing is for everyone, starting from junior, starting to the leadership, we have to campaign with that and go from there.
Thank you for the question. And obviously I'm an R&D guy, so I will I will not share all of the items, but I will tell you some things that are really in our mind. I think looking forward, into this, there's different elements of it. Clearly, one aspiration for us is, as we kind of go forward, we obviously want to have a lot more capability and a lot more info. I'll give you like one thing, right? We get very happy saying that GCCs are like a big business, big part of India. But please understand that the total value of GCCs in India is about $65–70 billion is the spend. Do we know how much is the engineering spend globally? It's about $1.8 trillion or more. So we feel very comfortable saying that we have a big part of the workforce. But if I do the same ratio saying what is the part of the global engineering spend that we are controlling out of the GCCs, it's a much lower number. So I think that success, as we kind of keep maturing, will come in the area of having higher capability in engineering. There's definitely going to be an infra piece to it. I think there is going to be a war on talent. There's a lot more GCCs kind of coming up. So what do you do to really upskill the talent for tomorrow? I think is going to be a tremendous opportunity. So please do whatever you can to retain the people that you have. Make sure you're driving the right employee experiences. I think GCCs are big, they're big platforms, they're big hubs. We are the glue. I think the leadership in GCC is really the glue that